3-4 months back, I did my HbA1c test and it was in remission. And I did one recently and it's reduced 2 points. So that's a big thing for me and without any medication. So, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Take me back to the middle of 2022, over 3 years ago now. What were the series of trigger moments you had that led to you starting your journey with us at RNT?
Yeah, before starting RNT, I always knew I had to get a grip of my health and fitness, and I've never been able to do it. So I just had my second baby in 2021. So I was giving it some time to recover because there were some health issues and setbacks which I had, and she was a premature baby. So just getting over all of those hurdles. So, but all through in my mind, I knew that I have to start something serious and get a grip of my health, fitness, and get into a routine. So I knew about RNT through one of your colleagues, Shweta's, who's also a good friend of mine, and seeing her transformation was like something phenomenal. Uh, so that gave me that, what can you say, that extra push to actually join in there. So, yeah.
Okay, amazing. And what was you mentioned that it was after you was giving birth to your second baby, you had a couple of complications with that. What was it that made you think I need to do something about my health, my weight?
I have been type 2 diabetic right from the time I had my first child, which was in 2012. So I was on medication for a couple of years, initially. But I realized nothing was happening with the numbers. I wasn't able to see my sugar levels coming down, and there was something else I needed to do. I realized, and during COVID, I just did what I knew from the very little knowledge I had on nutrition and everything. I tried to follow a diet routine, and I did manage to lose a bit of weight, and I realized that I came to the pre-diabetic stage then. So then I realized it requires a serious lifestyle intervention, and I came off medication then because I came to the pre-diabetic level. And when I joined RNT, I was in the border of diabetic range. So I did want to come to a remission stage, but without medication and just with lifestyle intervention. So yes.
And how bad was the type 2 diabetes?
To be frank, like the numbers weren't too high, but I've been on the diabetic range for a long time. And I wasn't keen on, relying on medication because it wasn't of any use to me when I wasn't doing other things right. So I just realized somewhere within me, I just realized that it has to be the lifestyle change, but I didn't know where to start, what to do. So when my little one was born in 2021, it was a complicated pregnancy just because of my sugar levels and everything. And I have to be on insulin during the pregnancy time. So I knew that I don't want to keep, my health in this sort of a conditions. Those were the sort of complications during the pregnancy. And after that, I had her when I was like 40 or 41. So, I knew that when she is growing up, I should have the energy to cope with her. So I just had to do something about it.
Okay, so you had the second baby, you had this lingering type 2 diabetes for a while. Was there anything else that made you think right now is the time? Was it overnight? You just thought I need to change? Did you have like one of those jaw-dropping moments, or was it just something that was simmering?
No, I don't think the decision was an overnight one. It was always there in me that I want to do something, but I didn't know, which is the right place to start at because I was never into fat diets or anything. So I was not keen on doing that. And I wanted something with a proper structure, learn about the basics and stuff. So RNT came in at the right time. So it was always there in my mind. I just had to make that decision about when can I start.
And I know you're good friends with Shweta. Is there, what about RNT specifically that drew you in? Like made you think, all right, this is the right place? Because there's a million and one places out there you could potentially try, and there's lots of diets you said. What made you think this is the right place for you?
One thing was I definitely knew RNT is not just about, a 6-week or a 3-month program. And I have seen, my friend Shweta's progress and, her knowledge and her experience like that helped me to joining RNT was a no-brainer for me. But I had my own doubts about, will I actually, be able to follow this program? I didn't doubt the program, but I doubted myself. When I started.
Got it. Before we go into the start of the program, walk me through like the last couple of years, or maybe even longer than that, has weight always been an issue for you?
Yes, always.
Okay, how long has it been an issue for you?
I think like I started working in IT like when I was exactly 20 years old. And I think that overweight kind of nature started right then because I was sitting for a very long time and I had absolutely no clue about the basics of nutrition, fitness, and having exercise regularly in your routine, nothing of that sort. So weight just kept piling up, and I knew all the while I have to do something, but I just didn't have the right knowledge or the platform for anybody to guide me, and I didn't know where to start as well. So it's just been more than 20-25 years of being overweight, actually.
Wow, so you were gaining weight over a 20-25 year period,
Yeah.
and yet you never really did anything about it?
Back in 2016, I started, taking some initiative to start following a healthier lifestyle than I have done. But then I was probably like 36, 37. So again, it was always like an on and off thing. Like I would do something for 3-4 months and then kind of lose momentum on it. And yeah, that's how it has been.
Okay, so it started from like 2016. You started doing things out of interest. Why did you not try? Because oftentimes we hear people when they struggle with their weight for that long, they'd have tried things literally all their life. But it sounds like for a long period, you didn't try anything. What was the reason for that?
I can say I did try, but not in a very, it didn't come from a place of knowledge or, structure or anything. So I would go for morning walks, but then I didn't really understand the concept of, the calorie intake, the macros we're supposed to be on. So I think nutrition wise, I definitely didn't have the knowledge of it. So activity wise, I would try to do something, and I thought that would compensate for whatever I'm eating. That's how I think that was my mindset back then.
Understood. Okay, and how did you feel back then?
I always felt like, I have to do something more. I know that this is not the condition or the level I need to be in. I have to improve on my health. I always knew that. So I wasn't like, I was always overweight. So I knew that I want to come to a good stage one day, but I just didn't know which direction to go in.
Okay. So you found RNT, you jumped in middle of 2022. Walk me through the initial process for you. What was cleaning the palate like for you on this journey, if you can recollect a couple of years back?
Cleaning the palate was, in fact, I was pleasantly surprised that I was on so many calories to start with. So the first challenge was, of course, trying to manage to eat all of it on the plan.
Yeah.
But in reality, I realized, like, in the later months, I realized actually I would have been eating so many calories, just that it would have been, more of junk food or unmeasured food. But, this was, if I was on 2000 calories, then it was structured like this is the amount of protein, carbs, and other macros I need to have. So I realized that the only difference is that I'm eating the right things. The calories could look like it could look like more, but it is the right thing I'm eating. So the challenge was actually to plan how to incorporate all of the calories and finish eating what you have to eat. That was a challenge.
Yeah, it's one of those things that people are always surprised at the beginning, how many calories or how many calories it feels like, because you're not used to having such whole food, nutrient dense diet, and it can feel like a lot. You feel full all the time. Obviously, that doesn't last forever, but it's a very nice feeling to know that you are starting a weight loss journey and you are feeling nice and full, as opposed to the typical starvation sort of tactics a lot of people use.
Yeah, true.
Okay, and then you got into the swing of things. Walk me through the process now, and I think what's interesting about your story is, you've lost 30 kilos, right? 30 kilos in total, and it happened over the span of 3 years, the 30 kilos. So let's go through that journey. What did that look like in terms of rate of weight loss? When did the big spurts happen? When were you potentially losing less weight? Because what was the 3-year journey like? Because often people firstly, they see 30 kilos and think, oh, it's a lot of weight to lose, right? Then they might be thinking, all right, 30 kilos, I need to get this done as quick as possible. So that might take anywhere between 9 and 12 months if you were to go as quick as possible. And if it doesn't happen in that time frame, it's easy to give up and then go back to where you were. You've managed to stick with it and keep chipping away each year, and 3 years later, it's an amazing transformation. Walk us through that process of like why it was 3 years, where were the ups and downs through it then?
Uh, to be frank, like if I knew that if I had, had this target in my mind that I have to lose 30 kilos, right, when I joined RNT, I would have felt it very overwhelming. And I would have been in that, that desperate mindset. Now, how long is this going to take? I would have thought about that. But I think when I started with RNT, all I thought was, I am at 95 kgs now. Let me at least get to 80s. That would look like a decent weight. I can, be more active than I am now. That's all I thought about. I didn't think that I will be able to reach my ideal weight ever. In a way, that kind of helped me to move on with the journey. And now that I finished that journey, I think that I could, if I had been a little more consistent with my nutrition side, I could have achieved this target a little earlier. So the first 2 years were constant ups and downs, and I had like old behaviors to unlearn, like, snacking in between. And at one point, I just realized, when is this going to stop? When am I actually going to see, the progress I want to see? This was at the time when I was like something in the 80s, when my weight was around 80 kgs. And then I thought, let me give myself a chance. I started to be 100% adherent on nutrition. And it took 2 years, but that's when I realized the actual meaning of all in. We say all in when we join RNT, but that's the point I realized, like, okay, I have to be all in. That is 100% adherent on everything. And when I started seeing the consistent, reduction in weight, that motivated me to stay consistent again. So even, my coach, I even asked me, what is it that has changed that you're now so consistent? I said, I've had enough of me being inconsistent. I want to, I want to now I need to change myself, change my ways, and give myself that chance. Look, this is what happens when you actually stay 100% adherent. So I think it was just one of those points, maybe.
Yeah, what was that light bulb moment for you? Because that's a really interesting one where, for 2 years you were kind of not half in, half out, but you were maybe even 80%, 90% there, but you weren't all in, like you said. And so the snacking was there, all these other bits. So it kept slowing you down. At what point, do you remember the day when you just thought, I need to flip the switch here?
I just thought, it's been more than 2 years, and I've seen a lot of transformational journeys with RNT. So obviously they are doing something different, which I'm not doing right now. Because to be frank, like, most of my journey, I took it for granted. Oh, it's okay to have this extra sweet corn because that's a healthy food to have. So that can still be a green on nutrition. Few things I did take for granted. So that is one of the reasons. And I had a few like setbacks, like my dad passed away due to cancer. So I was in India for some time, and then the food and plan was not on track. So a couple of things like that. So, I was on and off with my plan, but when I stay consistent on my plan, still there were these little things which were coming in. So I think it took time for all that knowledge to sink in my case.
How did having Pandian also on the journey help? Because he, about a year ago is when was it a year ago he did his photo shoot?
He did last year.
Yeah, a year ago. Yeah. So, he ended up winning the award as well. All of that happened last year. Did that play a part in, did you both have that light bulb moment at a similar time? Like, how did that play out? Because, he got into very, very incredible, like, wow, condition. And you also on the journey. So how did that dynamic work?
I mean, when we both were in the process phase, like when Pandian hadn't reached the checkpoint, we were both kind of learning and finding our feet. So, but once he reached his checkpoint and went on to consolidation investment, like, it helped me, like, certain things which he guided me on. It really helped me on my journey because I was still on the process phase. And once I reached the checkpoint stage, like, it was very helpful because he told me what are the things you should be wary of when you come into consolidation stage, because it's quite a dangerous stage to be in, which I'm going through right now. So it was very helpful when both of us were on the journey because we could relate to each other's struggles. Yeah.
Did you flip the switch at the same time? So he was thinking, all right, I've got a photo shoot, and you thought, all right, I need to be all in. Did that happen at the same time? Was it different? You know, when you said you decided to go all in, was it at the same time that he was pushing for his photo shoot, or was it a different time?
No. For me, it was more of like end of last year. Like I started to be more 100, the real 100% was then.
So when you saw him win the award, you thought you needed to live up. You make sure that the wife is just as wife gets the award next year.
Yeah. So actually, the photo shoot target, that conversation was triggered because I was, telling Ivan that I need to go for this India trip sometime this year. And I want to complete my journey before that so that I don't again mess up the, process phase and delay it. And so we talked about what would be a realistic timeline, and it seemed like August. So I thought, okay, so if I have to do the trip, I have to do the photo shoot before that. And so that means I have to be super. So that was kind of an extra motivation thing. I think booking in that photo shoot really helped me to stay on track.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So 2 years of sort of 80% there, putting the sweet corns in and ticking a green. It's very cheeky, that, by the way. Anyone else listening to this doing the same thing, you know what you should be doing now.
I mean, I think that snacking habit is, was a major blocker for me. And it's still, I'm working on it, even though I'm in consolidation stage, I still face that challenge quite a bit.
When do you typically snack in the day?
I'm like, most of the day I'm fine. And maybe like mostly when I'm like traveling to office, coming back, I eat my prep food. But if I'm sitting and watching TV, sometimes that hunger just triggers and I go and pick up on a snack or something. So
in the evening.
More likely in the evening, yes. Yeah. Because mostly in the recent past, I've never been out and about without prepping my food. So I've not had that issue when I'm outside.
Yeah. So it's when you get to the end of the day, you put the kids to bed, you finish your work, you sit down and watch Netflix, and your hand wants something in it.
Yeah.
Your hand wants to grab some food and put it in the mouth.
Yeah. That was a challenge in the process phase. In consolidation phase, like, to be fair, like, I was a bit tired after like 3 years of dieting, and I knew that the dangers of you can fall off the wagon big time. I knew that, like, Pandian had also warned me about it, so I was aware of it. But there are still like 1 or 2 days where I go off plan and I just tend to snack on something.
Okay, well, that's the big part of this next phase for you, is like now rewiring those habits without the target of a photo shoot.
And over the years, I've learned that, what I need to focus on is the behavior towards food rather than, having in the process phase. Like, it used to concern me every time I have a random increase in weight. But gradually, like through Ivan telling me off now and then and everything, I learned that, it's more about, was your behavior right? That needs to change. You could have increased weight due to various other non-controllable reasons, which is okay. So now that's what I'm focusing on. Like, in consolidation stage, even though I had to eat out and I've increased weight, that doesn't concern me. But I just try to think, did I do the right thing? Did I, choose the best option of the lot which is available? So that mindset change is what I'm, grateful for with RNT.
Okay, well, let's cover the prep for the photo shoot then. How was that experience of getting ready to, really go to the next level and do this photo shoot? What was the grind like for you?
Even like a couple of weeks before the photo shoot, I was like constantly checking in with Ivan. Do you think I will be in photo shoot condition? And I wasn't super shredded or anything. And I've seen most of, Simon's clients, and they all look great. And the RNT and the RNT transformation. So I knew I was nowhere there, but, I could, but by checking in with Ivan quite often on this, like, I was able to come over that self-doubt. So I mean, I was happy I've come a long way. Like, I have lost 30 kgs of weight, but I wasn't sure if I'm going to look good in a photo shoot, if I'm good enough for a photo shoot. So I kept doubting myself on that. But I did everything which Ivan had asked me to do. So when I felt, I've done 100% of what my coach has said, so that's all is in my hands. So then I was fine. I was in a happy place and confident and looking forward to the photo shoot. Yeah.
Walk me through the overcoming the self-doubt of wanting to have your pictures taken, because you go on like someone like Simon Howard, who for the 80% of his people are like physique models, and outside of the RNT transformation, it's mostly bodybuilders and fitness models. So you go on that page and you think, oh wow, like this is quite intimidating.
Yeah.
And then you're going to a gym and do it. How did you overcome that self doubt and think, you know what, my journey is my journey. I've lost 30 kilos, and I haven't got the genetics or the whatever it may be that these guys have got. Because some of them are like pretty freaky on this page, right?
Yeah.
I go on there and I'm like, wow, like some of these people are insane.
Yeah, they look out of the world.
Yeah, it's just otherworldly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more of the talks I had with Ivan. So, he helped me understand and reiterate the fact the journey is always you versus you. So where was I 3 years back and where am I now? So I just felt that moment has to be recorded. I may not have six-pack abs, but then I have an almost flat tummy, which is never what I envisioned when I started RNT, because I didn't expect to be in a photo shoot condition itself. So I was able to appreciate the progress I have done, the hard work I've done, and the right mindset to have. So I think talking with the coach really helped.
Let's go into the photo shoot day then. You said you'd never seen yourself with a flat tummy. What was it like when you were in your sports bra? You were walking around the gym, strutting your poses. I mean, I saw the poses. You were really flexing, and I love it. So what was that like? Tell me about the experience in the day.
I think the credit goes to Simon.
Yeah.
But I did, explain to him briefly, like, this was my journey. So he was quite impressed that, you have to be super consistent to actually lose 30 kgs of weight. So, you should be happy where you are. So he gave me that confidence. And, initially when I started the shoot, I was a bit nervous, but I think he really made me feel comfortable and not, didn't treat me different from the six-pack abs people. So, it was a different experience for me. So I don't think I still had like a toned tummy or a flat tummy then, but then it was definitely the best condition I could possibly be in, because I know I've done everything which Ivan had asked me to do. So I knew that this is the best possible condition of mine, and I was happy. Internally, I was happy.
Yeah, what did you feel internally?
I felt like this is an achievement for me. I need to appreciate myself for having reached here, and all that. I didn't let any self-doubt or anything spoil my day that day, because if I had not tried enough, then maybe I would have felt a bit unhappy about certain things. So I was 100% satisfied that I've done everything which my coach has told me. So this is my best possible condition, and it's definitely, miles apart from where I started. So I that made me really happy and confident to go in for the show.
Okay, brilliant. Let's now go into consolidation and investments so far. What is that? What is your goal now? What are you looking to achieve now that you've lost 30 kilos?
Yeah. So yesterday I had I have spoken about it briefly with Ivan, and yesterday with Oliver as well. So my goal going forward is I want to definitely improve on my strength in terms of the the training side of things, because so far in the process phase, I think I focused on training more from more from a fat loss angle, and more from I am dieting, so I need to build muscles just for that. So it was from that sort of an angle. But going forward, I think I want to focus more on improving my strength, and down the line, achieve a toned body, maybe not, of course, six-pack abs, but then at least be able to maintain a flat tummy, look toned. That's where I want to get at, and be able to maintain the weight I want to be on. Like, for example, if it's around 68 kgs, I should be able to maintain doing my usual stuff and not exactly measuring every single day like I did in the process phase. So that's where I want to get to in the consolidation and investment phase.
Okay, so maintaining with more sort of food freedom.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, I want to get out of the measuring food and having,
Okay, whilst also getting stronger. Yeah, I love it. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you?
So right now in consolidation phase, I think it's because there's been a lot of variables. Like just after the photo shoot, I went on a holiday, and then I wasn't well for some time, and a couple of other things. So office work has been a bit chaotic. So I am just getting back into the routine just now. So
Yeah.
I am finding it challenging. It's more calories, so that's nice to have. But I'm not 100% on the nutrition side, so I want to get there. And I mean, this week has been much better than the previous week. So in consolidation, I think my challenge or goal is to stay with the nutrition adherence, which is my biggest challenge always. But with the investment phase, I think, I mean, till now, I've never focused on how the training journey should be. Like I just did what I was supposed to do on the plan. So I will, I think I will constantly check in with my coach and, see where I need to improve. I know the overall goal is to gain strength, but how to go about it and what to do, I think I will need to discuss more with my coach on that. So I can't I'm as of now I'm not able to foresee any challenges in that. But I think one of the main challenges will be there's no big goal to work towards,
Mm.
just like in the process space. So my goal should be, so I should set a goal for myself, so it'll help me keep me motivated. So for example, by next year this time, I should look much more toned, much more stronger, be able to lift more on various exercises. So goals like that I just want to set, so it makes me feel charged up.
Yeah, that the performance goals will make a big difference for you. You know, strength training, having a focus on strength training in consolidation and investment is really, really powerful. And I think it's one of the best ways for women, especially who, for years they may have associated being on a fitness journey with fat loss or weight loss, to change that mindset and to change that relationship more than anything with fitness. So they start building more strength, and as a result, they will get more toned, and you can build more shape as you desire. So yeah, that's a great way. And the more you can fall in love with some sort of strength training modality, the better you tend to keep the weight off in the long term as well, because you have an enjoyment around fitness as opposed to just doing it because you need to lose weight.
Another big key factor is that I am now in the remission stage, after
Oh
being,
wow.
yeah. So I just want to keep continuing. And recently I had all my blood tests done and everything seems fine. So I just want to keep that, the health factor as well, going on well.
So just to confirm, you've gone from being type 2 diabetic for many, many years to now being in remission.
Yeah, I think even like 3-4 months back, I did my HbA1c test and it was in remission. And I did one recently, and it's still, it's reduced 2 points. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, it's life
And
changing.
yeah, it is, and without any medication. So that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Wow. And remind me how long you had type 2 diabetes for?
I think it's from 2013. So
2013. You
yeah,
didn't go on medication, right?
I was on medication in the first few years, and I was on metformin, and
Oh yeah, of course. You were taking the insulin during the pregnancy as well, didn't you?
yeah, during the pregnancies, they had to give me insulin because they said there's no other option and medication is not sufficient enough. But otherwise, generally, I was on medication, and I just felt I just don't want to be dependent on a medicine all life. So this is a big win for me.
How's the physical been the vehicle for you, Anila?
The first thing is the mind block that I always had this mind block that I can achieve anything else but not weight loss. So that's why when I started with RNT, like I just thought, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay consistent, but at least let me aim to get to the 80s from 90s. So I always had that mind block that I cannot lose weight. So starting from there, the physical has been the vehicle. So it was a complete sort of a mental transformation. And as I was continuing the journey, I realized that the change in mindset towards in many situations in life. Like, for example, I could see a buffet with 100 dishes, but earlier I would have thought I want to try every single dish, but now I just feel no, it's just that 5 minutes of happiness. You don't need to eat what is there. You have your food prepped, so go and eat that. And your goal is what you see in front of you. So it helped me improve my focus, So when it started with the nutrition and the fitness journey, but I could apply the same to every other area in life. And earlier I felt like my body was bringing me down, but now I can rely on it, I feel.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean by bringing you down? Now you can rely on it.
I just felt, oh, I'm too overweight. I can't do this activity. And, it's one is you feel sluggish and tired because you're overweight. And secondly, you have this mind block that, oh, this activity is not for me because I'm too overweight to do it. So, but last year, like I managed to do two big treks, which is the snow down and the scaffold pike. And I would have never aimed to do it before. So, I mean, all that feels like, yeah, now my body is a tool I can rely on. So that was great to feel.
Quite literally the vehicle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, what other things did you potentially shy away from before because of your weight or your energy or?
I think more than shy away, it was more about I wasn't able to do just because I'm not fit enough to do. Like I was learning classical dance all through my school, and I've always wanted to resume it, but I knew I don't have the energy for it when I was overweight. But just last year, not even last year, just a couple of months back, I went for a trial class just to see am I able to cope with that now, because it's quite a tiring, high intensity sort of a thing. So I was able to do it easily. And my teacher was like, it doesn't look like you had a 30-year gap with your
Wow.
dance. So, and those are the things which I'm really grateful for. So now I am planning to join a dance class. So that will be a form of cardio for me and also something I like to do. So
Wow. So 30-year gap.
I mean, it was not exactly that, but I had to leave it out during the school time and just never managed to get back to it. And then the gap just went bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Wow.
And
Wow.
I didn't resume it all these years, and the reason passed because I was overweight and I didn't have the energy to do it.
Wow. What else out of interest? Like, it's pretty amazing listening to what you're sharing.
No, I think it's mainly these sort of physical activities which I was like restricting myself from. So earlier I would never plan, okay, if I'm going out with my friends or anything, I would never suggest, okay, let's go for this hiking trip. And then, when we are back, we can head to a pub or, meet up somewhere or something like that. But now, like, that's always something I prioritize. Okay, let's meet up, but let's do this. I am consciously thinking about incorporating, a fitness or activity wherever I go. And I was never like that before. So that's a complete mindset change for me.
Amazing. What about you as a mum? How has this journey impacted you or changed you as a mum?
I mean, I realized that like when my son was born, which was a couple of years ago, I always thought I have to be there around him like 24 hours. Only then I'm like doing my proper job as a mom. But then when my daughter was born and I started this fitness journey, I realized that unless I prioritize myself, maybe I have to leave her and go to the gym and, do what I have to do. But unless I do that and I stay healthier and happier, I'm not going to be able to do my best for her. And that's what I've learned, like to prioritize myself first, do what I have to do to, unless I'm healthy, she's not going to be happy. I'm not going to be a good parent for her. So that was quite a change in mindset for me, between the first child and the second child.
And that happened when the second child arrived, or was it
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
started
I joined RNT only after the second child was born. So I thought, how am I going to fit my gym schedules? But then I realized I have to fit her schedule around my gym schedules. That's first. Yeah. So
Nice.
that mindset change came along the way. And now she's just turned 4 last week. So she tells everybody in the nursery that she goes to the gym with me. So,
Is the gym at home?
No. I go to the gym, but she thinks I'm always there.
Okay. Yeah.
She's been telling them I also go to the gym with my mom. So they were asking me, is she allowed in the gym? I said no. She's just making it up.
Amazing. Okay. What almost kept you from joining, Anila?
I think my fear of, is this going to be another fitness attempt to being fit, which I'm going to drop off in a few months? Like, am I going to do justice to it? That thought kind of that was the little blocker I had to overcome before joining RNT. Like, can I be consistent? I knew that if I have to lose, I had a lot of weight to lose. I know that. But I thought, will I be able to stay consistent? What is going to help me stay consistent? Like, what is the factor here which will actually make me do the same things every day? Those were the things which almost made me not go for it. But then I thought, how am I going to look or feel 1 year later? And also, I always had this thing, oh, is it too late to start a fitness journey? I'm already like 41 or 42. I thought, isn't it too late to start? Like, now, what am I going to gain by starting at 42? So, all those kind of blocking, that mental noise I had to cut down.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah, that fear of am I going to fall off again is a big one that many face. And if you were speaking to someone right now who had that same fear, what would you say?
I think what really helped me, and what I would suggest to them, is just keep short term goals. If you think you have to lose like 30 kgs or 50 kgs, it's going to be I think it's too overwhelming for anyone in that stage to think, because they would think, when am I ever going to lose that weight? So I think what helped me was to break it down. Okay, think about losing the first 5 kgs, and then we'll see what we do next. So I think that helped me keep going on. And during this whole process, like reading all those articles, listening to all these podcasts, all of that kind of helps and feeds, more of it helps you think in the right direction.
That's another good point for anyone listening who's on the journey to really like immerse themselves in the content that's around you, because it can start to rewire your brain. It can start making you feel like this is a normal way to approach fitness, so you don't feel like you're sort of, I don't know, alone or feeling solo on the journey. And it also helps keep reinforcing the right behaviors so you can stay consistent no matter what's going on in life. So yeah, it's a great tip there. What does success look like for you in a year then? You mentioned you want to be more toned, stronger. Have you got like specific goals yet, or is that still a work in progress?
No, I think this is my main goal. Like, around the weight, like I just want to be able to, follow my usual lifestyle, like, be able to eat meals without actually counting or prepping. And I mean, not prepping, I mean like without having to measure every day, and you know and cook for the entire family and still know what should be my portion size or portion control. I think these are the main things I really want to learn and be able to implement, and also be able to maintain my weight in the ideal range. So I don't want to, you know, be overweight at any point of time after this. Yeah. I think that's a big achievement for me if I'm able to do it.
100%. I mean, I think that's almost a goal in itself. When people say, "Oh, maintenance is the goal," I think that's the best goal to have. And then if you tie that with a performance goal, like something to do with strength training, it works really, really well together. So you can have like all right, I want to stay in this range whilst also not tracking too much, and I want to achieve this in the gym. That combination can be very good. So keep that focus on those three. So you got get stronger in the gym, set some specific targets, have a range you want to stay within, and then keep working slowly on introducing more flexibility. But don't underestimate the time it takes to build that level of intuitive eating, because it's you're now in a position post checkpoint where there is no big prize. So the old identity will always rear its ugly head, and we've got to almost kill that old identity and let the new identity become where you are now, which is 30 kilos lighter. Brilliant. Any final words for the listener, Anila?
I think all I have to say is, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So anybody doubting themselves, I think you should just start this journey, whatever age you're in, and not have any of those mind blocks. So, and the coaches are amazing. So just listen to your coach. That I think, yeah, that's a key thing in this whole journey. Like, trusting your coach completely.
Anila's dropped 30 kilos. She's had an amazing transformation. If you haven't seen her pictures of what she's referring to, we were talking about earlier, make sure you check it out in her case study. As she said, she probably never thought she'd be walking around in a gym in a sports bra and leggings, getting pictures taken of her. And if she can do it, then pretty much anyone can. So well done, Anila. It's been amazing seeing your transformation. I'm so happy to hear about your type 2 diabetes being in remission as well. That's a life-changing result for you from a health and longevity perspective. And I'm very excited to see the version 2.0 that you start building in the next year.
Yeah, sure, Akash. Yeah.
All right, brilliant.